summoned you here for a purpose.
Good morning, all. This is Darth Rabbit07, finally coming at you today with my thoughts and impressions of my very first TF Con. And that drive home is the only negative I have about really the whole shebang, because it was such a long drive with the daylight savings ending and driving home in the dark. I guess it was a positive there too, because I didn't have the headache from driving into the straight sunshine like I would have been. I want to say thank you again, Ultramegatronus, for talking me into going to the TF Con. At first, it was just me and him sharing a room together, but then we decided to split the cost up and we offered it out to some other brothers in our Ultramegatronus live group, which I'm grateful for each one of you guys. So grateful for Raziel Kane and for NY Hunter Impressions, Jimmy G in the Place to Be with the Good, the Bad, and the Awesome. He stayed at a separate hotel, and that's another adventure I would like to go into there that we did on Saturday night. Then there's oh my gosh, I'm having some blank spots here, but I mean, Norbert is in that Ultra Live Megatronus group. Didn't get to go this time, but next time, buddy, we'll get together and get to finally meet in person. And that therein was the thing. I get to meet and greet these guys. And Johnny Utah from Optination Review, he was way out in Utah, didn't get to make it. But I mean, next time, buddy, we're going to get together and get to meet you too. That's what was so special, I guess, in the wake of Haleen, getting to get up there and get to see each of you and meet and greet. And it started off with a handshake, usually ended in a hug. That hugging thing was just something that was predominant throughout. And as we move forward, going around the lobby after me and Martin, we got to meet James and Bobby from Bot versus Con. And that was like one of the other YouTubers that their channels just exploded with great views. They got great content and that kind of thing. But then I met Deluxe Baldwin and getting to meet and talk with him. That's where the silver and gold was for me, is to all the guys I looked up to. I got to actually meet and greet. There was Cato came in on Friday, and then finally got to meet him and give him a hug and that kind of thing, and share my gratitude for these guys, and got to actually help Rodimus Primal set up his black dealer room downstairs in the lobby. That was a funny, everybody knows what I'm talking about. I mean, they had a sign there. It says, no dealing, in the lobby or whatever. And bam, here comes all these people with their totes and their stuff and their wares. And it was fun, man. That's part of the experience that you get at TF Con, that those interactions and those little, memories and stuff. But being able to meet many people that I look up to, inspired me to start my own channel, and then actually getting to meet and hang out with them. That's where the silver and gold lining is for me. To be able to sit down and share a meal with my roommates was just something I'll never forget. I enjoyed, eating breakfast with them and having all four of us at the table, being chill before the crazy of the con and stuff. And that's where, whenever it came time for the dealer room to open on Saturday morning, I got a little overwhelmed and whatnot, and I travel in huge packs of one anyway, guys. So I don't know, it's just too much crazy hustle and bustle, and there was a ton of people there, and so I was a little lost there for a little bit. But then that's when I bumped into Hostel, and I bumped into Young Kim and got to meet these awesome guys. And I actually got to hang out with Hostel and Young Kim at the panel and do some other stuff at the third party panel. And I'll never forget that. Me and Young Kim sit there and was fiddling around with Senator Ratbat, which leads me into my next portion, what little bit I did get into the halls. Jimmy G's friend John helped me find this, was trying to get it for him at first initially, and we found it at the Chosen Prime thing. We kind of hung on to it between us until we could figure out if Jimmy wanted it, and Jimmy didn't want it. And then I was trying to hang on to it because I knew that me and Martin were looking for it. And so then that's one story there that you can't get anywhere else. You get that experience of hunting together that I absolutely adore, even being overwhelmed in that dealer room. And then I wanted, of course, another cassette. I love these little Ocular Max MMC exclusives. I got the Shattered Glass one that reminds me of the Black Line from last year. So this year I got Senator Ratbat. He's got that awesome and cool cape. And then that goes back to the dealer room, the black dealer room downstairs later on. I think it was Saturday night. I got to meet Captain Kyle with Toy Spotlight, and he let me borrow this down a couple of dollars there, and I got to see this. This is my Captain Kyle memory. This is me going to the con with my con brothers there, and then there was other guys I looked up to that we kept bumping into going in and around the lobby, and that leads me to my other little story. And I got to meet this guy named Trevor that referred to me as Savage Ravage. And it just, those are the experiences you don't get if you don't go to these things and meet and greet and talk to people. And it was great to shake people's hands and hug them and stuff, especially, like I said, after the hurricane and whatnot. I just didn't know how much I needed that social interaction with like-minded fans. And I'm a smaller YouTuber, and it was just awesome that people were watching my content. And I also got to meet another likewise fan of the Ultramegatronus Live, Jamie from out of Greensboro. I really, really enjoyed our time together talking in the lobby Saturday night. And that was a lot of fun. Now, if I had to come up with any little negatives, it was like I have to swim still, and I was upstairs late at night on Friday night. And the little lady that was up there cleaning up, at the end of the day and stuff, I was 10 minutes over the thing, and she's like, "You got to go." And so in my little bit of a push to get out the door and stuff, I left my tripod because I was trying to film in a quiet spot. I left my tripod on the fourth floor in the rec room where the lap pool is, and kind of a bummer that the hot tub was not like operational at all while we were there. That would have been nice to be able to, hang out and sit with the guys and talk in the hot tub. But I mean, that just did not happen. And then it came time to go home, and we watched a most excellent panel of like the guys I look up to. Once again, there was Rodimus Primal and Balt Matrix and Kato and Patriot Prime. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about the Patriot Prime. Well, when I met him and stuff, it was awesome. We went across the street to Pickles, and anybody that's been there on that block knows what I'm talking about, the Pickles Pub. And he comes up to me. I look up to this guy. Like, he's got an awesome View1 channel. If you haven't watched it, you need to go check him out. But oh my gosh, it was so. He's like he's like, "Man, you're tall," and so like that was awesome. He actually shook my hand and hugged me and stuff, and congratulated me on my weight loss, and that was a lot of the things that I didn't expect either. How many people actually watched my weight loss journey through my YouTube channel and its growth. If you look at my earlier videos, you can see that I was short of breath and that kind of thing. And just to be on the journey that I've been on, I hope I am truly an inspiration to folks and make them decide to choose health as well. But it was just an awesome thing getting to meet Patriot there with those guys. There was Fire Talks. I got to get my Target thing from Fire Talks in person. That was better than doing that online. Man, just my mind goes everywhere, and I can't wait for the next one of the TF Cons. But then, so now I'm trying to go back to the YouTube panel story there, and that story being, it was time to go after their panel, and they had an awesome panel. They had like a room full of people, guys, and the biggest line there. They actually got hurried through with because there was a time constraint because there was another panel behind it. So once that panel got done, I was ready to go. So what had happened to me is I lost the key fob to my rental car, and I was in a panic and stuff. So I was like searching around and whatnot. And at this time, we had said our goodbyes. I said my goodbyes to Raziel, Kane, and Martin as they split out of there. Then that's when I realized I didn't have my key fob. And then NY Hunter had also was getting ready to split out of there, and he had trouble actually getting checked out of the gate, that kind of thing. But then I went back up to the registration booth, and those nice, beautiful ladies that I had talked to several times over the weekend, they're like, "Here's your key fob." And so I was able to get on out of there. So on the way home, I took advantage of going back down through DC, going right by my favorite part of the 2018 trip I did with my son. It was his 8th grade trip with his school. It was like 23 of his classmates and the teachers and the folks at RMCA that I coached basketball at. That's how I got into coaching 6 years ago. It was this 8th grade trip. His math teacher just kept nudging me in the leg. Do you play football? Do do you golf? And I was like, no and no. But I was like, if you have a basketball program that needs help, I speak basketball fluently, and that's how I got into the coaching thing. So I got to reminisce our last evening there at Thomas Jefferson Memorial from that trip by going by there on my way home from this awesome con. And the fall colors were just absolutely beautiful, and I absolutely loved every second of that. But the thing I will hang on to the most is like the time I got to spend with like-minded, fans, and got to meet people. And it was so endearing to have, meet everybody at the thing and actually, pay it forward to the guys that I look up to. And thanks again. It was just a very wonderful experience. I'm sorry it's been a couple of days since it took me longest to get my little video out there. But I've been exhausted from that drive on Sunday night. I got everything going. Oh yeah, the other thing that had the hiccup on the way home was I had to stop and get an oil change. I didn't want the car breaking down, so I stopped at Centerville. There was like a Valvoline there that I had to get that, and there was a line in there. They closed at 5, but I think they were in there till 5:30 getting me and the other 3 people done at the end of the line. And so then it was like hiccup and wrinkle, but I mean that's all part of that experience, and that therein is I would not do another 8-hour drive. I would just go ahead and do like Deluxe did and fly up to the thing and then hang out with my friends and get on back home and whatnot, because I think Cato and his wife they drove up from West North Carolina as well, and we were just little chat in the Facebook after the fact. That drive was so brutal. The I-81 was the forever road. Anyway, very, very awesome experience. And now I'm already talking to other people in the Facebook groups, and I enjoyed it so very, very much, guys. It was an honor to meet you guys all. And I can't remember everybody's names all at once, but I mean, that's why you go to these. You go to hang out, to share experiences, and to have that new experience itself. And I'll never forget it. Thanks again to Ultramegatronus and my other roommates, Raziel Kane Reviews, NY Hunter Impressions, and Jimmy G and the Place to Be. Well, he was not a roommate. That was the other fun little tidbit. I keep going on, but I had to take Jimmy and John back over because they had like a huge haul, and they were like a good half mile, if not a little bit more than a half mile down the road from where we were at the Hilton. So then I got to venture out that night and go grab some Chick-fil-A to have one more snack. And then me and NY Hunter Impressions had his buddy's ends, left her a pizza for breakfast that night. See, that's the little things that I'll never forget. And is so endearing to be able to be, with the guys after being with them on Ultramegatronus Live, and then boom, like that. Like I said, Norbert, we'll get together and Optination, we'll get together at the next TF Cons, and definitely, I want to do the one in LA because that'd be about the biggest chance to get to still meet Peter Cullen, and so there's something to still quest for, guys. So with that said, I'm so very, very thankful again. Thank you again, Ultramegatronus, for putting this in my head 6 months ago. And last month has been trying and hard for my channel. I didn't make my sub goal, but it's not even, you have sub goals and that kind of thing, but to be able to go to the con and talk over the show in person and the meets and greets, that's where the real silver and gold was for me. Well, I mean, that's about all I have to say about that. I don't mean to sound like Forrest, but that was just a very, very awesome experience. Thanks again, guys, for watching my channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again for watching, and I will continue to share my photos through the Facebook groups. I just didn't do a whole lot of filming like Jimmy G. We wanted to be in the moment.